Brakataya Hawa, Brakataya Hawa Shai, Brakataya Hawa, Brakataya Hawa Shai, Brakataya Hawa, Brakataya Hawa Shai. Blessed be the true, holy, powerful, and mighty name of the Heavenly Father Yahweh, and blessed be the true, holy, powerful, and mighty name of His only begotten Son Yahweh Shai, our Lord and our Savior. Nathamash Komishar Sharala, get double honors to the elders of Israel, being the apostles and the elders of great millstone that rule well. Shalom Wahab Labak Yarshaya Sharala, which is peace and love to the elect of Israel. Come back at y'all again for the lesson, Baharakah Kodasha Amaf, and the Holy Spirit of Truth. And the topic of this lesson, or the title of this video, is going to be something along the lines of this is the same devil from the beginning, right? With the same exact agenda. Speaking of Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, he hasn't changed. Okay, in the book of Sirach. Matter of fact, I'll just start off with that. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 12 and verse 10. It says, "Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness." And who is your enemy? You so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Who is your enemy? All right. You go into the book of Deuteronomy 28. It says that thou shalt be, 28 and 68, thou shalt be sold into Egypt again on ships. Thou shalt be sold to thy enemy. I got to get that. I ain't read that one in a minute. Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 68, it says, "And the Lord Yahweh shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, by the way whereof I spake unto you, so like unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again, and there ye shall be sold unto your enemies, for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you." And all 12 tribes participated in the transatlantic slave trade, all right, which was, what's the word I'm looking for? Which was orchestrated, for lack of better words, by the so-called white man, by them Khazars, man. All right, by Esau. All right, I'm just calling him who he is. He knows who he is, man. There's a video Apostle Tahar posted, man. I'm eating my. He know who the fuck he is, man. All right, you devils that's in high positions. All right, fuck you little peon Edomites. They're just gonna die here in America. All right, when all hell, and they're gonna die by their own government. Esau Edom, the top elites of Esau Edom, they don't give a fuck about these peon Edomites, man. These low-level Edomites, they're gonna be a two-time loser. They was a loser on this side in their own kingdom. They're gonna be a loser, a loser gonna be living better than Esau Edom in our kingdom, man. All right, but the point is, that's who your enemy is. So-called black, you so-called black people. All right. So-called Hispanics and Native Americans, the so-called white man is your enemy. Why do you call yourself why do so-called black people call themselves African American? That's the name of two so-called white men. Leo Scipios Africanus, and American goes back to Amerigo Vespucci. He was a Italian, I believe he's an Italian navigator. Okay, so those are two names of the so-called two so-called white men, because that's who you were conquered by. Hispanic people. Where you get that from, man? You weren't calling yourself Hispanic before the Spaniards came over here, before Christopher Columbus and his boys came over here. You were conquered. You wasn't speaking Spanish, all right? That's why there was Hebrew relics. Christopher Columbus, or his real name being Cristobal Colon, he came over here with Hebrew interpreters, okay? Because he knew that the people over here was part of the 12 tribes of Israel. But now you're speaking Spanish. Why? Because you were conquered by the Spaniards. Native Americans, so-called Native Americans, you was conquered by Esau Edom too. All right, so we all have the same enemy. The scriptures say, never trust your enemy. Okay, let's continue on. Verse 12. It says, verse 11, it says, "Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him." Right, though he humble himself, he try to, in the book of Psalms, it says, He speaketh smooth things, but war is in his heart. So he humbles himself just to overtake you, just to overthrow your ass, just to trick you and deceive you. He's the devil that the Bible speaks of. All right. So it says, "Yet take good heed and beware of him, and thou shalt be unto him as if thou hadst wiped a looking glass, and thou and Slakia, as if thou hast wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust hath not been altogether wiped away." All right, that his rust is not wiped away, meaning his wickedness is not there. He's still a wicked devil. Matter of fact, he's worse now than he was back then. All right, back then he was a little garden snake, right? But then he's continued to just grow and grow in his wickedness. Now he's a big ass red dragon, man. All right, so never trust this devil. He ain't changed. All right, niggas think because they got an iPhone and a PS5, okay, and a little job with some benefits, that Esau Edom loves them now. All right, that he wants to help them. The scripture say the tender mercies of the wicked are but cruel. This devil don't love you, okay, and he never will love you. He wasn't created to love you. He was created to hate you, okay. He was created to persecute you. All right, let's get precepts to back that up. This is the book of Ezekiel. And the main thing I want to go into, I don't have too much time on this phone, but the main thing I want to go into is Maccabees. Out here in GMS Des Moines, we're reading the book of Maccabees. And I just want to go into that to show you that this is the same devil, all right, that the Bible speaks of. And he hasn't changed. He has the same agenda. This is the book of Ezekiel chapter 35 and verse 1. It says, Moreover, the word of the Lord Yahweh came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir, and prophesy against them. And prophesy against it. Who dwells in Mount Seir? Go into the book of Genesis 36 and 8. Esau, Edom dwells in Mount Seir. So when it says set thy face against Mount Seir, it's saying set thy face against Esau, Edom, who is the so-called white man, woman, and child, without a doubt. All right, verse 3, it says, And say unto it, Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, Behold, O Mount Seir, I am against thee. The Most High Yahweh, in the name of his only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai, is against you. All right, and when Yahweh Shai comes, he's going to bring you down. He's going to make you sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Who is this that cometh from Edom with thy garments from Basra? He gonna tread in the wine press, man. He gonna stomp you out. He's gonna flatten your country, man. He's gonna flatten your kingdom. It says, I am against thee, and I will stretch out my hand against thee, and I will make thee most desolate. The Lord's going to make your ass desolate, man. Never to rise again. Isaiah 14 and 21, prepare slaughter for the iniquity of, let me read that. That's another one. That's another oldie but goodie. Isaiah chapter 14 and verse 21. It says, prepare slaughter for his children for the iniquity of their fathers. Why? Because the children is the fathers coming back in the reincarnation. It's the same devil. He has not changed. He's not a new group of Edomites that we dealing with right now. And these new group of Edomites, they nicer. No, these are the same devils. This is Antiochus coming back. All right, Alexander the Great coming back. Herod, Pilate, all these devils. These is them same motherfuckers coming back, man. Haman the Agagite. All right, coming back. Okay, and they have that same hatred. That's why the scriptures say, prepare slaughter for the children for the iniquity of their forefathers. Because that's them in the reincarnation, okay? It says, prepare slaughter for his children for the iniquity of their fathers, that they do not rise, nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities, that they do not rise, all right? You'll never rise again. This is it for you, all right? Sit in the dust, O daughter of Babylon. There is no throne for you. You'll never rise again, all right? You'll never possess anything on this earth besides a dirt hole. That's going to be your house. That's going to be a nice little condo, man. It'll keep you cool, all right? Sharing your roommates is going to be bugs and cockroaches, man, where you belong, okay? The bottom of the earth, the bases of the nations, all right? And I'm talking directly to you elites, man. Fuck you damn elites, okay? I can't wait. We're going to have you in chains, and we're going to show you how to work, man, all right? Lord knows, all right? And you know what's coming. The devil shall come down having great wrath because he knoweth that he has but a short time. You devils is shitting in your fucking panties, man. All right? You devils is scared. You devils is losing sleep over us, man. It says that great fear fell upon them when it says in the book of Revelations, the 11th chapter, after 3 days and a half, the spirit of life from Yahweh entered into them. And they stood upon their feet, and great fear fell upon them which saw them. Fear is upon you when you see us, man. All right? You scared because you know what's about to happen next. Matter of fact, we read in the book of Maccabees, when we rededicated the altar, they was in fear. When we rededicated the altar, they was displeased. Okay? Like I said, I'm running short on time on this phone. So we're going to, Lord willing, try to hit all these precepts. It says, now that's it on that. Let's go back to Ezekiel chapter 35 and verse 4. It says, I will lay thy cities waste, and thou shalt be desolate, and thou shalt know that I am the Lord Yahweh, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred. Perpetual is what? Never ending, constant, continual. It didn't stop just because this nigga called you free. All right? He took the chains off your neck. That don't mean that he loves you all of a sudden, and you never free. Scripture say we are yet this day in the land of our captivity. All right, if you was free, why the fuck you still here in America? Huh? If you free, why you forced to wear a mask? If you free, why they forcing this vaccination on you? If you free, why the fuck you can't leave unless you have a passport, unless they give you the go ahead? You're not free, man. You're still subject to payments, man. All right? And if you think you free, you in for a rude awakening. Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, a never-ending hatred is what this devil has, and has shed the blood of the children of Israel. The children of Israel is not just so-called black people. So-called black people make up the tribe of Judah. All right? And then you got Levi being so-called Haitians. Then you got Jamaicans. All right? In the West Indies being the Benjaminites. Okay? There's 12 tribes. All right? It said, you have had a perpetual hatred, all right, and shed the blood of the children of Israel. I just named only 3 tribes. There's 9 other tribes. Ephraim being the so-called Puerto Ricans, Simeon being the so-called Dominicans, Issachar being the so-called Mexicans, Gad being the so-called Native Americans, Reuben being the so-called Seminole Indians, so on and so forth, man. Okay? You have oppressed all 12 tribes. You have touched the apple of the Most High's eye. And because of that, you will pay. The Lord will not at all acquit the wicked. Okay, it says, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and has shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword, because that's your blessing. But your blessing is going to be turned into a curse, because the same thing that you was blessed with is the same thing that you're going to die with, man. All right, that's going to be your end. It says, by the force of the sword, in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end. Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord Yahweh, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Seest thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. So judgment is on your ass, man. Let's get another precept and let's hop into Maccabees. This is the book of Amos, chapter 1. In verse 11, it says, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, for 3 transgressions of Edom, and for 4, I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because he did pursue his brother with the sword, and did cast off all pity, and his anger did tear perpetually, and he kept his wrath forever. Forever. This devil will hate you forever. He hated you in the beginning, and he hates you now in the end. And he's about to show how much he truly hates you, niggas. When I say niggas, I'm talking about all 12 tribes. You so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Let's go all the way back to the beginning. I'm not going to go back to Cain, even though Cain was really, if we went all the way back to the beginning, we go back to the serpent. All right. It said that the serpent, it says that thy seed and the woman's seed shall have enmity one to another. They shall have hatred between each other. All right. The woman's seed, speaking of Jacob, Jacob is like Israel is likened unto a comely and delicate woman. So the seed of Israel and the seed of the serpent, who is reincarnated into Cain, who is reincarnated onto Esau, would have enmity, all right? Would have hatred one to another. That's why in the book of Genesis, the 25th chapter, it says what? 2 nations are in thy womb, and they shall be separated from thy bowels. Jacob and Esau was never meant to be friends. They was never meant to be buddies. They was never meant to be amalgamated, all right? That's why Martin Luther King, he was a damn devil, man. All right, we was better off being segregated than integrated with these damn devils, man. It said 2 manners of people, 2 different types of people. One of the people, right, the younger brother, all right, he was perfect as the scripture call him. All right, he was complete. It goes back to the Hebrew word, I believe it's thumb. Double check that. All right, which just means complete, man. Okay, but this other Edomite, the nigga came out wasted away, man. Okay, but the point is that the 2 struggled together in the wombs. Why? Because the spirits are contrary. One is good and one is evil. Okay, the evil one is ruling right now. That fight still continues on in these last days. The descendants of Jacob and Esau are still struggling together here in these last days. Matter of fact, let's grab this. This is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 6 and verse 7. It says, then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the times, or when shall be the parting asunder of the times, or when shall be the end of the first and the beginning of it that followeth? And this is what everybody should be looking for. As an Israelite, we should be looking for the end of this world, this wicked, vile ass, disgusting ass, detestable, abomination ass society. We should be looking for the end of this place. All right, sodomite ass society. Okay, and the beginning of our kingdom, our rulership, wherein dwelleth all good things, wherein dwelleth righteousness and perfect goodness and paradise and rest. This is what we should be looking for, just like all the other ancient prophets and men of the Lord was looking for. Okay, verse 8, it says, and he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. So in the beginning of Jacob and Esau, when they were in the same womb, when they shared the same womb, they were struggling and fighting against each other. Here in the end, their descendants, the descendants of Jacob and Esau, Jacob being the progenitor of so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, the Israelites. And of course, we've been scattered across the four corners of the earth. And Esau, Edom, being the progenitor of the so-called white man, predominantly the so-called white man. All right, because you got some Edomites that's out here with melanin. All right, Tia and Tamara Mowry, the twins. All right, their father is an Edomite. Okay, and you got other different examples. Just because they have, so that's why I say predominantly so-called white people. All right, so that's the point on that. The two nations are still fighting. Esau's the end of the world. Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. We finished on the Amos. We're going to go to Genesis. All right, his anger did tear perpetually. So let's see what type of anger, what type of mind frame does this devil Esau Edom have. Let's see, I pass it. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 27 and verse 40. It says, and by the sword thou shalt live. So this is after he got his ass supplanted. Because he's a weak bitch. I'm just call it what it is. Look at Esau. Go to the job and look at this devil. He's weak as hell. Turn on the news and look at Fauci and Trump and all these other so-called politicians. They all weak as hell, man. All right. One shall be stronger than the other. The one that was stronger was Jacob. All right. And you can see that in anything, in any type of category you want to go into. Jacob exceeds Esau. Okay, but Esau's blessing was the sword. It says, and by the sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother, and it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. Here's the point. And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. He still hates us because of that same blessing, because that blessing is not disannulled. The Lord has not rejected us. That blessing is still 100% full in effect. So he still hates us, right? Ain't nothing changed. And Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning for my father are at hand. Then will I slay my brother Jacob. All right. So he's like, shit, I'm going to kill this man. This is his mind frame. Esau Edom, he hates Jacob. And he's looking to kill us. He's looking to destroy us off the face of the earth. So let's go into some more history, because Jacob and Esau is not no story. Cain and Abel is not a story. The serpent in the garden, that's not a story. That's history. All right. That goes back thousands of years ago into the beginning. Now, this history that we're about to read right now goes back to only a couple thousand years ago, going into the Greek Empire. Okay, let me get a little bit of this. Shout out to Elder Malcolm. This book of First Maccabees chapter 1 and verse 1. It says, and it happened after that Alexander, son of Philip, the Macedonian, who came out of the land of Chittim, had smitten Darius, king of the Persians and Medes, that he reigned in his stead the first over Greece. Right. So maybe I'll do. I already did a lesson tracking the lineage of Alexander. Okay, you can track the lineage of Alexander to all the way back to Amalek, who was a descendant of Esau Edom. So Alexander, he's an Edomite. Lord willing, in the near future, I'll do another video on that. I believe it's somewhere in my notes. But anyways, you could be on the lookout for that if you don't know that already, or look it up. I already did a video, but I think it was taken down with our last channel, if I double check. But you should be able to find it. You should be able to find it somewhere on the internet. If not, if the Spirit hops on me, I'm gonna do a quick lesson tracking his lineage. All right, of Alexander all the way back to Esau Edom. Okay, showing you that the Greeks were Edomites. Okay, now what was happening in the time of the Greek Empire? And I'm gonna just skip through and get certain points. Okay, this is the book of First Maccabees chapter 1 and verse. I start at verse 29. It says, and after 2 years fully expired, the king sent his chief collector of tribute unto the cities of Judah, who came unto Jerusalem with a great multitude, and spake peaceable words unto them but all was deceit. This is the same devil. All right. He spake peaceably. He spoke smoothly, but all was deceit. Just like now. Yes, we need to get this vaccination to the poor communities, to the urban areas. We have to get it to so-called blacks and Hispanics and Native Americans. They're the ones in the most need, and we're going to get it to them. We're going to heal them and make sure they're okay. It sounds good. It sounds peaceable, right? But all was deceit. War is in their heart. They trying to kill you, man. He hates you, okay? It says, and spake peaceable words unto them, but all was deceit. For when they had given him credits, he fell suddenly upon the city and smote it very sore and destroyed the people of Israel. So never let this devil in, man. All right? Never let this devil in. Never trust thine enemy. Like as iron rusted, so is his wickedness. That rust ain't go away. That wickedness ain't go away. Matter of fact, it gets worse. All right, when iron starts to rust, it just gets worse and worse and worse, and it spreads even more. Same with this man's wickedness. Same with his hatred. All right, it's just getting worse and worse and worse, and he gonna show you his horns here in the end. All right, so like I said, I'm gonna just jump around. I'm gonna jump down to verse 41. It says, "Moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom that all should be one people." Same devil, same agenda. What do you hear him talking about now? The New World Order, right? And everybody being one. All right, everybody being one people. This goes all the way back to this devil Antiochus, and even really before that. You're not trying nothing new, because you know Esau Edom. He's not original at all. He's a copycat. He's a thief. All right, he bite everything that he got, man. All right, he bite everything that he got. He has no originality, just no soul, just a weak bastard. Shouldn't fear this man. Okay, this flesh is weak. We understand that, all right? But the spirit got to kick in. This devil is weak. He's a bastard. He's a punk. He's going down. Yahweh Shai is going to whoop his ass. It says that, we just read it in Ezekiel. The Lord got it out for him. He said he going to make him most desolate. So why should we worry about this devil? Why should we be afraid of a man that shall die? Today he is king, but tomorrow he shall die, as the scriptures say. Okay? So it says, moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom that all should be one people, and everyone should leave his laws. So all the heathen agreed according to the commandment of the king, that everyone should leave his laws. Now with this whole vaccination thing, this spell, this potion, this wicked potion that he's trying to inject everybody with, he said what? He said, religion doesn't matter. That's not going to keep you exempt. That's what it's leading to. None of that religion shit is going to matter. All right? You're going to have to comply. You're going to have to get down or lay down. I got 6 fucking minutes. Let's go. It says, yea, many of the Israelites consented. So it said all the heathen agreed, of course, because they don't even serve the true power. But listen to what the wicked of our nation did. It says, for the king, or Salakia, yea, many also of the Israelites consented to his religion and sacrificed unto idols and profaned the Sabbath. All right, so a lot of our people is going to get down with the program, man. They waiting for the vaccination. They waiting for the microchip. They waiting to bow down to and kiss Esau's feet, man. Okay, I'm going to jump down to verse 49. First Maccabees 1 and 49, it says, let's read verse 48. It says that they should also leave. I'm just continue to read. Salakia. First Maccabees chapter 1 and verse 45. And forbid burnt offerings and sacrifice and drink offerings in the temple, and that they should profane the Sabbaths and festival days, that they should profane the Sabbath. He made it a point that the Israelites had to profane the Sabbath, and that's why you hear Nate, and that's why you hear General Yohana talking about you can have sex on the Sabbath. They're pushing that vibration to profane the Shabbat, man. And pollute the sanctuary and holy people, set up altars and groves and chapels of idols, and sacrifice swine's flesh and unclean beasts, that they should also leave their children uncircumcised, and make their souls abominable with all manner of uncleanness and profanation. That's what that vaccination gonna do to you, man. Gonna make your ass abominable. Okay, verse 49, it says, to the end that they might forget the law and change all the ordinances. That's what they want you to do. They don't want you to follow the laws of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. Scriptures say that our sin and our iniquity has separated us from our power. Sin is the transgression of the law, is breaking of the law. So they're trying to force us breaking the law so that we can stay separated from our power, our God, Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. And whosoever would not do according to the commandment of the king, he said he should die. This the same devil. And he gonna do the same shit. He wants everybody. He's trying to have that new world order. all people to be one people, and if you don't comply to his strange, weird-ass religion, you're going to die. This is what he's going to put on books. It says that he wrote letters. That means he made laws. He put it in writing. Okay? It says, in the self-same manner, he wrote, wrote he to his whole kingdom and appointed overseers over all the people, commanding the cities of Judah to sacrifice city by city. So this is what he's going to do now. He's going to go city by city, door to door, house to house, making sure everybody's compliant, make sure everybody's vaccinated, making sure everybody get that microchip, which is the mark of the beast that's written about in Revelations. It says, then many of the people were gathered unto them, to wit, everyone that everyone that forsook the law, and so they committed evils in the land, and drove the Israelites into secret places, even wheresoever they could flee for succor. So the scriptures say, in them days be even as pilgrims. Now the 15th day of the month, Caslu, in the 145th year, they set up the abomination of desolation upon the altar and builded idol altars throughout the cities of Judah on every side. So they're trying to profane the altar again. The altar is us. It says that what? That ye are a spiritual house, to offer up spiritual sacrifices unto Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai. All right. No, it says acceptable to Yahweh by Yahweh Shai Mashiach. Okay, so our sacrifice is accepted by Yahweh Shai, man. Our sacrifice is accepted by Yahweh through Yahweh Shai. Okay, that's 1 Peter 2:5. Like I said, I'm short on time. So it says verse 55, it says, and burnt incense at the doors of their houses and in the streets. And when they had rent in pieces the books of the law, which they found, they burnt them with fire. So this Bible, this word is going to be outlawed because it condemns them, it hurts them, it cuts them. It's burning their ass up. It says, and wheresoever was found with the book of the testament, or if any consented to the law, the king's commandment was that they should put him to death. So it's gonna be a hit out on anybody that believes, man. It's gonna be a hit out on the servants of Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai. They shall be like mad men, sparing none, still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord. Then ye shall know who my chosen is. This book is 2 Ezra 16. It says, thus they did by their authority, they had the freedom. Right? Thus did they by their authority unto the Israelites every month, to as many as were found in the cities. Now the 25th day of the month they did sacrifice upon the idol altar, which was upon the altar of Yahweh. At which time, according to the commandment, they put to death certain women that had caused their children to be circumcised. So you women is not exempt, man. Scripture say, go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof. As for the others, let not your eyes spare, neither show no pity. Come not near any man upon whom is the mark. And the others is who? It says, slay utterly old, young, maids, little children, and women. So it named women twice. A lot of death is coming upon this world, man. And we hope to be exempt. It says, and put to death certain women that had caused their children to be circumcised, and they hanged the infants about their necks, and rifled their houses, and slew them that had circumcised them. They hanged they little babies. All right. I'm running out of time, man. They hanged but you can read into that, man. They hanged the babies, man. Killed the pregnant, the woman gave birth, and they killed her ass, hung her ass too, man. This is the same devil, and he's gonna show his wrath times 2 in these last days. And but we serving Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai, so Lord willing, we gonna be protected. Lord willing, all this judgment's gonna pass over us. Call Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai. Shalom.